Reggie here, your fellow neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is the show that I do every single week where I basically give you a heads up on all of the content that is going to be released over the course of the week from this channel. We also, as part of this show, do a giveaway sponsored by Go Collect, and I also give you guys a preview of the comic that will be given away via the channel in the coming weeks. So this is a pretty good show. We've been doing this show, I think 23 weeks, 21 of them were consecutive, always on Sunday. There's one that was missed. We actually had it on a Monday, but nevertheless, I am definitely pleased to be with you guys here tonight. And I want to thank each and every one of you for taking a little bit of time out of your weekend to actually join us for this show. So before we get started, I want to say hello to the comic book soldiers that have joined me here. Chaos Lord is in the house. Johnny Future is here. Connecting Comics is in the room. IMJ is here. Chuck, my buddy, is here. Tina is in the house. Victor says he is going to channel the Force. He wants to channel the Force in order to win the book that we are going to be giving away tonight. Jason Ova is here. Chris Barrett is in the house. Who else do we have? Geek Aficionado is here. Randy Resnake, my man, is here. Who else do we have? Scrolling through the name, Ariel is here. He just told me I did this this little video clip, a little mashup video. Ariel says that I need to do that every single month. I don't know if I can commit to every single month, but I will do my best to continue doing different types of content to entertain you guys. So Ariel, more to come, my friend. Scrolling through some of the names here, but it looks like you guys were having a pretty good conversation before I rolled into the room here. I think I said hello to Johnny Future, but in case I did not, shout out to Johnny Future. Rush Die Hard is here, my Canadian brother. Matt Gray is also here. It is good to see each and every one of you comic soldiers. And again, I want to thank everyone for taking time out to actually join. And if you are watching this thing and you are watching it, or if you are looking at this in the room live right now and you are not yet subscribed to the channel, I definitely want to encourage you to do so. That way you can stay abreast of all the content that I release on a weekly basis. It also makes you eligible for all the various giveaways that I do here on the channel. Some of them are scheduled, like the Go Collect giveaway that we're going to do. But then some of them are just super impromptu things where I post stuff up and I'm like, hey, first at it gets it. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to not just subscribe to the channel, but also to turn on notifications so that you guys can get all the alerts that come out from the channel. So I'm actually going to get to the giveaway, I think, relatively quickly this evening. The new season of Orange is the New Black recently started. You know, my wife is a fan of that. So we are going to try to get to that relatively quickly. What is this? Watching Shark Week. It is good to see you guys. Eric the Grizzly is here. Universe X is in the house. It's good to see you guys. All right. So what I do want to talk about very briefly is a show that my buddy Vika just hit me to the other day. And I really haven't seen any other YouTubers talk about it. Los, how you doing? And so I wanted to briefly mention it here before we got to the giveaway. And it's the show called The Boys. I don't know if you guys have seen this on Amazon Prime. I think it just started like 2 days ago. And I'm going to tell you, it is excellent. It is excellent. I'm getting reports here that the gibbon and his tinfoil hat on the roof of my house is not doing what he's supposed to be doing because the signal is a little broken up. And I have to apologize for that. I have, because I've been uploading a lot and doing a lot of videos, I have exceeded my thresholds for what I'm allotted for the month with Comcast. And so I guess they are throttling my speed. So bear with me as we kind of get through this thing. It looks like it's cleared up just a little bit. But season 1 of The Boys was just released, I believe, a few days ago on Amazon Prime. I don't know if people are watching this show, but my buddy Vika turned onto it a couple of days ago. And I think I'm up to like episode 6. I'm going to be honest with you. It is not a bad show. It is not the kind of show where you're like, I want to just immerse myself in this show. Is it entertaining? Yes, it is. It is an Amazon Prime original show that I believe is based upon a comic book. I didn't know anything about this comic book, haven't read it or anything, but I believe that it is based upon a comic book. And again, the show is pretty interesting because what it looks at is what happens when superheroes, people that are viewed as gods, as heroes, that do these amazing feats. What happens when they decide not to follow the rules? When they decide that they are above the law? When they decide that they should essentially kind of rule and do whatever it is that they want to do? It is interesting. It is interesting. And so there are characters in here that are reminiscent of a lot of characters that we've probably seen in DC and Marvel and in Independence, even for that matter. There is a character called Homelander, and this character reminds me of Superman. He has X-ray vision, heat vision. He can fly. The dude has a cape. I mean, he is like Superman mixed with just a sprinkle of Captain America. And then you have this other character called Queen Maeve. I think that's how you say her name. She's basically Wonder Woman. She is honestly the crown and all. She is basically Wonder Woman. Then you have A-Train, who is basically like Quicksilver meets the Flash, meets any other dude that can run really fast. That is basically this dude named A-Train, who at one point actually runs through a woman. He literally runs through a woman. Oh, and I should have probably mentioned that this is not a show for children. This is not a show at all for children. There is the Deep, who is basically Aquaman. There is the Black Noir, who is basically Black Panther / Snake Eyes. It is again, I don't know if I'm guessing it's loosely based on the comic. I actually want to read the comic now as a result of having watched this show. And I think I'm on like episode 6 of 9 for this season. And I kind of want to read the comic book because I saw a couple of news clippings where people were basically saying the problem with this or the issue with the show is this. And I kind of want to read the comic book to see how much of a disconnect or how much of a similarity there is between the comic and the TV show. But again, we'll see. We'll see. It may be like the guys that are making the new Joker movie, where they're like, yeah, we're just going to do a Joker movie and it's not going to be based on any of the comics at all. We're just going to make some stuff up. That could be the case. So I want to read the comic to see what the similarities are. One of the things I also really liked about this show is one, it's an Amazon Prime thing, which I think is really cool because Amazon, Netflix, all these subscription services are really stepping up the content that they are putting out. But there's also no real stars in this show. It's a lot of B-list characters, but it is actually a decent show that I enjoy watching. So Dennis is like, it's a great show, super well done, and the story is dope. My superpowers Derek, you're a nut. Derek says his superpower is that he can read his own mind. Well done, my friend. Well done. Well done. All right. So if you guys get a chance, try to check out season 1 of The Boys if you have Amazon Prime, because it is not a bad source of entertainment. And you guys know me. I like to support anything that is comic related. And so I kind of dig this thing. So I want to move very quickly into making a couple of announcements. There are 450 people that have actually joined the podcast. I have the podcast on Podbean, on Google iTunes, on Google Play. I'm sorry, Apple iTunes, Google Play, and several other, podcasting services. But there are 450 people that have actually joined this thing on Podbean. So I want to give a shout out to all those individuals that are listening to the various blogs and podcasts that I actually release. So thank you guys, because I think I started this thing like 3 weeks ago and already we've grown to 450 some odd people. So thank you to each and every one of you guys that have actually joined. Clay is saying, anyone looking for the first and last issues of The Boys plus the mini series. So I guess he may have that up for sale. And so you guys may want to reach out to him. Homelander seems to be a favorite of the Liger King. He seems to like the Homelander, who is basically Superman mixed with a sprinkle of Captain America. So again, if you guys get a chance, check this thing out. So I want to let you guys know that I've actually struck a deal. I struck a deal with a new company, and it was actually a new company that was introduced to me by a subscriber. If you guys remember Ryan, he had a daughter a couple of months ago, and he named his daughter Tegan. And Tegan was born on 4/28. And he reached out to me and he said, Reg, I want to give something back to the comic book community, and I want to do it through your channel. And so what he ended up doing was he ended up getting a bunch of gift cards from a company called 3204 Auctions. He sent the virtual gift cards to me, and I basically awarded them to members of the comic book community, where you guys were able to take these gift cards for, I think it was $28, I think, and go out and actually buy some comics and have a credit from this shop, 3204 Auctions. And it was a really nice gesture on the part of Ryan to celebrate the birth of his daughter. And the owner of 3204 Auctions, Jerry, actually watched the channel. He watched some of the content that I was putting out. He watched my interactions with you guys, and he reached out to me. And he basically said to me, I want to work with you to raise the profile of a service that he started. I want to say it was a while ago, right? He started this service a while ago, and he said, I want to work with you to basically raise the profile of this service that I have been offering to people. And he tells me he has a few hundred people that are already using this service now. And so I thought about it. I talked to Ryan about it. And I agreed that I would start to try to raise some awareness around this service because it seems like it's a cool service. And I think many of the people that were the recipients of those gift certificates actually enjoyed the quality of the books that were available for them to buy. And I think some of them even had some interactions with Jerry behind the scenes. He's basically, a guy that is doing this full time. He basically is living the dream, right? He is doing comics full time. And so basically what he has is a CGC subscription service. And what this thing is that you basically buy credits. And once you have your credits, you request any book that is coming out as a 9.8. And then you get that book. So for example, you basically buy some credits and you say the next 3 issues of House of X or Powers of 10, I want. And you basically get those books at a 9.8. That's kind of how it works. And that's a simple, super simple version of this thing. So I want to give you guys some additional details. If you're interested in using this CGC subscription service, you have to buy a minimum of 3 credits to do this thing. Each credit is $39.99, right? So $39.99 is basically what you have to buy per credit. And you have to buy 3 credits in order to get into the program. And once you get into the program, you can basically request any comic that is under $5.99. So that includes your main covers, your Bead covers, your additional, second, third printings, that kind of thing. In any annuals, you can request those things, and basically you will get them if they are $5.99 or less at a 9.8. And you can request any comics that are coming out. Right. So again, if you want Powers of X, you can be like, Jerry, I want Powers of X. I want the next 3, and you will get those at 9.8. You can say, I want House of X, Powers of X, and then pick a third one, Batman or something like that. Then you will get those 3 comics at a 9.8. If something comes back at less than a 9.8, you don't pay for it. Right. And so you get your credits, $3.99 times 3, and then you also have to pay shipping. And what's cool about this is that he will actually do this whether you're in the US, whether you're in Canada, or whether you're outside the United States. So shipping does cost a little more, but all of the details are actually on the site. So I want to flip over real quick, and I want to show you guys this site so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And then we will get on with the giveaway for this week. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. This is basically the screen that I'm talking about, 3204 Auctions. It is a CGC 9.8 subscription service, the best way, right, to get a 9.8 on new comics. So you can basically see here, these are the 3 steps. You buy your credits, you have to buy 3 credits, you request your comics, and there's some details here, and then your comics will be mailed out to you. And what's really cool is he does have this really cool video here that you can watch that actually goes through a lot of the details. And then again, you can see here some of the shipping costs, and you can decide in what increments you want your book shipped, right? So you can basically say, hold my books and send me 1 shipment per month, or you can say, send me my books individually. But all the details are right here. And then certainly if you have additional questions about any of this stuff, Jerry can help answer those questions. So the site is cgcsubscription.com. That is the URL for the site. So you guys know that I'm a big fan of like disclosure for things. So there is some compensation that comes back to the channel. And before I do that, let me say thank you, Jason Ova. I definitely appreciate that. He just dropped on me a super chat. So I want to say thank you for that, brother. I definitely appreciate that. All right. The he's talking about a little bit of the spawn stuff over there. But I want to thank you for that super chat, brother. I definitely appreciate that. So as a fan of disclosure, there is some compensation that comes back to the channel. Anytime someone signs up for the subscription, I get some money for that referral. So I want to be fully transparent about that. It's not a crazy amount of money, let's be honest, but it is some money that comes back to the channel that ultimately helps me buy additional books or goes back into doing some of the things that I do here on the channel. So I like to be super transparent. And certainly if you guys have some additional questions about some of that stuff, definitely reach out to me so we can have that conversation, or you can reach out to Jerry if you have questions about the service. And what you're going to start to see is you're going to start to see some ads. I am going to drop like an ad or two in the beginning of videos every single week. I'm also going to drop something in the description of various videos. So if you have additional follow-up questions, you'll have the links and all that kind of stuff readily accessible to you. So full disclosure on all that stuff. And like I said, if you guys want to chat about it, just hit me up. So that Liger King is like, I just saved the page. And again, look into this stuff. If you guys love it, let me know. If you guys hate it, let me know that. I think it's important that we have the ability to have some conversations about some things. So Jason Over says, no problem. Love the channel. And I definitely appreciate that, brother. I definitely appreciate it. So people are asking about Lobo 1. So after I clarified that it was not the crotch shot Lobo, not the DC Lobo, it is the Lobo that is over my very grainy shoulder back there, if you guys can actually see it. It is the Lobo that was released in 1965. It is the first Black character that actually appeared in his own title, and he appeared on a cover in his own title long before the Black Panther. And so we have not been able to find this video. I've been searching, and many other people over the course of the last couple of days have been searching for this Lobo video that where I basically show the Lobo book. And I'm like, here it is. I just bought this book. We cannot find this video. It is somewhere on the channel. I have looked at least 3 times, including earlier today. I cannot find it. And I don't even know if I have no telepathy said it's not in a video. I believe that it is in a video because people have seen it, and I remember recording the video and editing the video. But that doesn't help because no one can find it. So I'm basically calling off the search. I'm calling off the search. It did not get cut. It did not get cut. I use almost all footage, honestly, when I shoot, and I don't think that I've ever like deleted a video after posting a video up. But I don't know. I honestly am at a loss for where this footage is. I am honestly at a loss. And I had a lot of people sending me emails, sending me direct messages asking about it. I honestly cannot remember where and how. And I even went back to the videos where I would see, I think it was like Strange Tales that was in the place of that Lobo. And I went back and I watched for where did the Lobo first appear? And then I watched videos before that, and I watched videos after that, and I still can't find it. I still can't find it. Part of the reason is that you have to remember, I sometimes will record 3 weeks worth of videos and have them in the can. And so that's what makes this really complicated, is that I will have 3 weeks worth of videos that I'll release slowly and sometimes intersperse newer content into those videos. And so it's complicated. And I tell people all the time, I am constantly operating in the past, in the present, and in the future, always, because I'm recording videos like now that you guys won't see for like 2 weeks, sometimes maybe even 3 weeks, depending upon the subject of the video. While at the same time, people are watching videos that I released a while ago, that I recorded a while ago. And so it's just a mess. It's just a mess. So Victor's like, not even Yoda can find it. Tina looked. Mark did the same thing. I know my man Rye and his girlfriend were sitting up trying to look for it. He said, I think Rye said in his email to me, he and his girl were like zombies sitting on the sofa trying to watch my videos. I know a few people were watching them in 2 times the speed. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. So what I will do, this is what I am going to do, is I still have 1 mystery box left. And this mystery box is valued at least $45. I am actually at some point this week going to post something to the community tab to basically give away that mystery box to somebody. So stay tuned for that, because I don't want people to feel like they wasted their time. I'm still going to just give that box away, because I honestly don't know where that video is. So there will be a couple of giveaways this week. We are going to give away that mystery box, as I just alluded to. At some point this week, I'm going to do a live show, and I'm going to give away this book right here. I don't know if you guys can even see it with this grainy picture that I'm looking at. We're actually going to be giving away this book right here. This is the 4,000 subscriber giveaway, so definitely stay tuned to this. It'll be a live show that will happen at some point this week. I'm going to give away that book. All right, so let's keep this thing moving on. I've told you guys enough about the 3204 auctions. If you guys do decide to participate in that program, please keep me posted on like your thoughts of it, because that feedback is important for me. All right, so what do we have coming out from the channel this week? I have a few haul videos. So I think that's going to be cool. A couple of books, well, a lot of books have actually come in as of late. I'm going to show you guys some really cool books that I picked up from one of my local comic shops. I was able to work a deal behind the scenes before some books were actually released to the public, which was really cool. So my local comic shop is hooked me up. So I want to show you guys some of those books that I picked up. I have a video coming out because I'm all about the X-Men right now with this House of X, Powers of X stuff that's dropping. I have another video that's going to come out with some cheap X-Men books that you may want to think about picking up, or at least reading digitally, so that they can help you to understand House of X and Powers of 10. And then I have a vlog that's going to come out called Spec Gone Wild. So I think that's going to be a fun one. Spec Gone Wild. I'm going to release at least one podcast this week. I have another podcast in my head that I have to record that I may release this week as well, but you'll get at least one podcast. So those 450 people that are on the podcast that I can see, I'm going to release at least one. And then I'm also going to have at least 1 to 2 live streams this week. So definitely stay tuned for some of that stuff. All right. All right. So you guys ready? Jason is like, Apocalypse joining Excalibur should be an interesting team. Yeah, I actually went over that in one of the previous videos that I did, where I actually break down the 6 new titles and the 6 new teams that are coming. But yeah, you have a couple. You have Pyro on one team, you have Apocalypse on a team, and I think there was one other bad guy. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're doing some interesting things with some teams right now. Well, technically, Magneto is also hanging around with Charles Xavier on Krakoa Island, so that's always going to be an interesting little dynamic. So definitely stay tuned this week. There should be some really good content that's actually going to be coming out always at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. So stay tuned for a lot of that stuff. Yeah, Almighty Liger King. Yep, we actually went over a lot of that stuff in that other video where I talk about the 6 new teams that are dropping. So definitely check that video out if you guys haven't seen that one just yet. All right, so here is the comic that is going to be given away this week. We are all about the X-Men right now, so why not give away a really cool X-Men book? We did X-Men Blue the other day with 4 signatures. Today, or this week, I should say, it is actually going to be X-Men number 101. This is a 6.5 with white pages. This is the origin and first appearance of the Phoenix. And you might actually get this book today. And if you do win this book, which is being sponsored by Go Collect, you will also get a really cool variant from Go Collect right here. And then you will also have your option of getting a t-shirt from Go Collect. They come in large and extra large. They are distressed t-shirts, or you can actually get one of these pins. So again, if you can't wear a large or an extra large, or don't want a t-shirt, you can always go for the pin. That is a great option to have. But if you do win, all you have to do is make sure you send me an email to RegieCollects@gmail.com, giving me your government name, your screen name, your shirt size, or your preference for the pin, and your mailing address, and I will get this book sent out to you in a timely manner. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the names of the people that entered this week's giveaway. And this was a pretty well attended, if you will, giveaway. So let me pop this thing open if I can get the right screen going. So go ahead and share this with you guys right now. Here is the random.org. And this, just as a reminder, the contest always wraps up at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. And then shortly after the contest wraps up, I try to post the list of names. So these are all the individuals that entered this week's giveaway. And just as a reminder, what you have to do is watch a video. And in the video, I will give you a phrase. You then go over to the community tab. You click the post with the link that goes to MailChimp. You plug in 2 pieces of information. And then you also plug in the response from the video. And then you are automatically in the running. And all we ask is that you be a subscriber of the channel, resident of the United States, a resident of Canada, or have a mailing address in the US that we can actually ship to. So these are all the individuals that were basically able to enter this week's giveaway. And we are going to do our little dice roll here. And we basically have 9. So we're going to randomize our list a total of 9 times, and then we are going to give away this prize. All right, so we're going to scroll down to the bottom. We're going to randomize this thing a total of 9 times, and then someone is going to walk away with a really cool book. That is 2. Scrolling. Here is 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, 8. And the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway for an X-Men 101 from CGC is Catherine Finnery. I think that's how you say her name. Catherine, you are the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway. Please send me an email to RegieCollects@gmail.com. providing me with just a couple of pieces of information, that being your real name, which I think I now know, your screen name, your mailing address, and your preference for either a t-shirt or a pin, along with your address. And I will get this bundled up and sent out to you tomorrow morning. One other thing I probably should do is, I think I was remiss in doing this last week. So I want to look really quickly at the FMV associated with the book that we literally just gave away. So I'm going to scroll down. We are on the Go Collect website. We're going to scroll down, click on X-Men 101. We're going to pop this thing open and we're going to look really quickly at the FMV for this book. This was a 6.5 with white pages. Scrolling down, we can see that this book cost $270. That is basically the FMV associated with this book. There have been roughly 25 sales because that's what the search criteria max out at for the purpose of what we just did. You can see some of the recent sales were $238, $178, $208, $279, et cetera, et cetera. And somehow they come up with the magic FMV here of $270. So that is the FMV of the book that we literally just gave away to Catherine, and we'll show the book one more time. This is what is going to be sent out this week. Congratulations, Catherine, for being the winner of the giveaway. Definitely a really cool book. And I see Chris talking about his win. No, actually his losing streak. It is. Yeah, Chris, it's a losing streak, my man. One day, Chris, you will be a winner like Catherine in the contest, not necessarily in life, because you're a winner in life already. But anyway, Catherine, his book is a really nice book. So congratulations on that. So over $200 bucks Canadian, you scored. Is she in Canada? Is Catherine in Canada? I've been shipping a lot to Canada as of late. We need to get our Canadian folks to follow more, right? Because we are shipping a lot of books up to Canada. So I wonder if cocoa is going to grow and turn into a country. So technically it's an island, but it is a country. It's actually a nation state. But I think you're saying larger, like a continent, right? Probably not is my guess. Chris says he's in a slump. Oh, Tom Garcia says 0-2. He feels like the Detroit Lions. Come on. Don't talk bad about the Lions. The Liger King is singing the Canadian hymn. So this is the book that we are going to give away this coming week. This is Detective Comics 1000. And it is a 9.9. Well, 9.9 minty 9.9 Detective Comics 1000, featuring some fantastic art And this thing is actually from Forbidden Planet. I have never actually held a 9.9 before. I've never actually owned a 9.9 before, but this is the really dope book that is going to be given away this week. And on the back, it has a really cool Batman 80 years on the back, but definitely some really cool artwork here. It is a virgin cover. This thing is really cool. This thing is cool. So this is the book that is going to be given away this week. And all you have to do is stay tuned to the videos that get released over the course of the week, whether they be live videos or pre-recorded videos, which come out at 3:30. And in that video, I will give you a clue. And that clue is what you're going to need to actually enter the giveaway. All of this is relatively straightforward. I hear people still asking questions about it, which is perfectly fine. But basically, you watch a video over the course of the week, Monday through Friday. At some point in one of those videos, I will say, hey, if you want a chance to win this book, write down this phrase. I will give you the phrase. You go to the community tab, you click the MailChimp link on the post where I talk about that book, and you basically plug that phrase in. It's relatively straightforward. And in fact, if you don't know where the community tab is, if you go to the video page for this channel, I actually have a video that tells you where the community tab is. And in some cases, it's even linked in the description of the video that you might actually be watching. So there you go. The cover looks nice. Is that the answer to your losing streak? Asked Chris Barrett. The giveaway code is good question, good try. Tom Garcia is like, the giveaway code is Mr. J. Well done. Well done. It is really a dope book. It really is. It is really a gorgeous cover. And as soon as I saw this book and saw that it was a 9.9 Detective Comics 1000 in the year of the bat, right? I had to get it. And I'd be honest with you, this would be a really cool book to get signed. I just don't know if I would have the courage to crack it, given that it's already a 9.9 and this is like a unicorn, you know? So I don't know. But at the end of the day, this book will be given to one of you guys and you guys will decide what to do with it. WIS Comics says his wife would love that book. So yeah, there you go. City and Coleman is like, Reggie, do your best Batman. No. Reggie doesn't do impressions. No. And I don't do public embarrassment. So oh, you guys are awesome. But no, I wish every single person good luck for this week's contest. And the thing is, we do these contests every single week. We also just give away stuff randomly, partly because of contributions that are made to the channel. So the goal is to always be having some fun and be doing some things where people can have some fun and also walk away with a cool prize. And again, Go Collect has been a really good sponsor of the channel that I've really enjoyed working with these guys. So I want to give a huge shout out to them. One of the things I will tell you is that I may be doing a video this week. I may do a live stream on Powers of 10. I may do that this week with the guy Ralph over at No More Mutants. I don't know if you guys were on Instagram when he and I tag teamed on Thursday, but we actually did a quick review. It's like maybe 45 minutes or so that he and I did on Instagram TV, where we actually had a great conversation about House of X. We are going to try to redo that again this week, and we're going to do it on Powers of 10. And the way that I think we're going to do it is that I may actually appear on his Instagram channel, which has like 500,000 followers, which is crazy. We're going to maybe jump on his channel first for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. And then we're going to continue the conversation on my channel here on YouTube. So that may go down either Wednesday or Thursday. So that'll be one of the live streams that will take place this week. But I'll probably also jump on the mic a couple of other times over the course of the week because I have all these different ideas bouncing around in my head and I really enjoy the live stream. So you could see me a couple of times over the course of this week. But I did want to give you a heads up about the No More Mutants because it's a dope channel, 500,000 subscribers on Instagram, which again is really incredible. And Ralph and I had a fantastic dialogue earlier this week that was really facilitated by the guys from IG Comic Store. IG Comic Store has been going back and forth with the two of us about this, this book and what's happening with the X-Men for weeks and weeks and weeks. And they brought us together and we had a fantastic conversation. So hopefully you guys can actually jump on and have a conversation about that. Will you record the audio of this talk? Which talk? This talk or the other talk? Oh, Matt says he was comic hunting in San Francisco. That's what's up. That's what's up. You know what? I have been debating using the audio from like interviews and discussions. It's a little tough. Because sometimes Pigpen, thank you for stopping by, brothers. I definitely appreciate that. If he joins me on my channel, it'll be available live. What I need to figure out is whether I want to pull that audio over to the podcast. I'm still, and there's a couple of reasons. I am still on the free service for the podcast. I haven't pulled the trigger to actually incur some cost on the podcast just yet. So when you drop, I think you get like a limited number of hours, like it's like 3 hours or something like that. So I have to think about that, but I also have to think about on the podcast format, can I edit the video, the audio down so as to remove some of the ad libs? Because I don't know if people are going to want to hear on the podcast my ad lib like right now versus the meat of the conversation, which will be a back and forth between Ralph and I. So I need to think about that and see what's editable, what's doable. But stay tuned, because I've been debating that same thing for the various interviews that I've done on my YouTube channel with people like, the CGC folks, for example. Great conversations, but then there's all the ad libs that are inserted in there that I don't know that people would want to hear some of that stuff. And it's a beast trying to edit an hour and a half of content. That's a beast. So more to come. Comic Craze, how you doing? All right. So with that, I'm going to say thank you guys for hanging out with me for just a little bit. Congratulations to Catherine again for winning the X-Men 101 book, and good luck to everyone that enters the contest for this coming week for Detective Comics 1000, a minty 9.9. And again, don't forget about what we talked about, which is the 3204 auction CGC subscription service. If you guys take advantage of that, it would be greatly appreciated. Hopefully you guys will benefit from it. And again, the channel also benefits. So there you go. If you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at RegieCollects on Instagram or RegieCollects@gmail.com. If you need me, I am not too hard to find.